I think one of the best things you can do when you're building a Halloween prop is take time to do the hands. Usually what people do is just stick gloves on the end and it looks crappy. It makes your whole prop look crappy. So I'm going to show you a real easy way to make a corpse hand, but it'll kind of work with anything. First thing what you need, I just have some pieces of electrical wire. I went to Walgreens and got some fake fingernails. These are red, but I'm going to paint them black anyway. We've got our liquid latex, and I also want to mention, I grew up in the middle of nowhere. If you can't find liquid latex, rubber cement will kind of work. Not as good, but it does work. All right, the first thing we do is we're going to use our own body as a template, is we're going to create a hand. So I take the wire, and usually for a finger, I'll bend one in half, and I want it to come down a little bit, so there's the middle finger. And what I'm going to do with the other pieces is the same thing. We know we have 5 fingers, so we're going to hook 5 of these things together, 5 fingers. And the great thing with this electrical wire is it'll be bendable, so we'll be able to pose the hand however we want. Okay, so we have 5 of them. Then what I'll want to do is hook them together down at the base. And I'll have a copper one do the thumb, so we'll take that out. And also I'll use a bit of masking tape. Kind of hold everything together. Okay. Now we're going to spread our fingers out. And just like the human hand, we'll find our longest one, looks just like this white one. And I'm going to kind of bend them to where they're matching my hand. Now of course the thumb is smaller, so I'll bend it over. I'm going to go ahead and put a little piece of tape around the thumb. Alright, so we've got a thumb, and this finger, this finger, this finger, and then I can bend them over to kind of get the same size as my hand. That looks pretty close. Then what I do is I spread it out. Okay. So that's kind of where the fingers are. And then what I'm going to do with the masking tape, where the palm of my hand is, I'm going to put masking tape on it just to give it kind of a layer of skin. So what I'm doing with the masking tape is just kind of creating the flesh of the palm. It's going to be covered in the liquid latex, but for now it gives us something to build to. I'm not bending my wires, I'm just kind of wrapping the tape to get it to look like the palm. Okay, so it's starting to become a hand now. So we'll have a right and a left hand. The other thing you can kind of do is, while you're in the masking tape mode, is put the main knuckle on if you want to. What I like to do at this point is slightly bend it, how my hand would bend. Okay, now even more, it's starting to look like a hand. Like I say, if you want, you can put the knuckles by taking a little piece of masking tape and just kind of making a little knuckle here that's going to stick out a little bit. You can also do this with the cotton and latex. Sometimes it's a little easier to do it just with a piece of masking tape before you start to build onto it. And the great thing about the wire hands is they're posable, it can hold things, and it's, you know, more like a human hand. Or should I say, a hand of the living dead. Alright, so I'll put these knuckles on. And it looks pretty good. I'm also going to flatten down where I bent that over. The nice thing with the latex is it has give to it because it's rubber. So Now you can start to see it's starting to look more like a hand. A lot better than just sticking a glove on the end of something. Like I say, I think that just ruins a lot of Halloween props. It makes them look really cheap. Okay, now that we've got our tape and stuff on, and if you notice, I've given a long wrist here. This is going to slide down into the PVC pipe we use on the body, so I want to have plenty of extra so that more than likely the wrist will come about here and you've got that much going down inside that we can hook and attach to. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some liquid latex on it and start to build the fake skin again with the cotton over this. The thing to remember, it's a corpse hand, so it's very skinny, very bony. Don't make it too thick. When I start to do the cotton, I kind of almost roll it so that it looks like the joint going along and up the hand, because again, we're building this in 3 dimensions. So I take my cotton, instead of just laying it on, sometimes I'll even roll it a little bit so that we get the definition of the finger going up. And this will pack down a little bit when we put the latex on top of it, but again, just for kind of give it a little bit of dimension here. Okay, so you can see basically I've just taken strips of cotton along that. Now what I'm going to do is cover it in the latex to get our first coat on there. Okay, so yesterday what we did, we wired together the wires, we put masking tape on, put on our liquid latex, and built fingers. This process I usually spend a few days doing. This is the last weekend of September. We're trying to build the whole zombie in a weekend. This is a rush job. Take your time on this. Normally what I would do, I'd make each finger a lot more defined. This will work, and you'll have this prop for years to come, so you may as well take time on it. Like I say, I'm rushing just to show you the process of how to do it. Okay, so I've got my 2 zombie or corpse hands. Then what I did is I went to Walgreens and got the cheapest fake fingernails I could find. And what we're going to do is we're going to hot glue the fingernails on. After it's hot glued, I go back with some latex to use the glue, because what I found with hot glue is it gets cold and hot, it ends up releasing. The liquid latex is more of a permanent thing to hold it on, but the hot glue will hold it immediately. So what we're going to do is hot glue on the fingernails. If you don't have fake fingernails, if you do the tips black, that'll kind of give it the look. There we go. Now you can kind of see we've got... Okay, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to accent the hands. I'm going to use a little bit of acrylic black and a brush. And what I want to do is kind of highlight the bones. So I'm going to take a pretty dry brush and just kind of put enough so that you can, it helps define where the bones are of the fingers. A little bit of a highlight. So now I hope this is coming through on the camera. You can see I've kind of accented where the bone lines are. So then here we have our posable hands that will be able to pose for the zombie, and they'll be able to grasp things and look more like real hands, better than just gloves on them. Again, take time in this process. You'll have this prop for years, so don't try to build this whole thing in a weekend. Give yourself at least a week. Another way to get quick definition for the hands, do the same wire technique that we do, then take just these ballpoint pens, pull out the pen part, cut this to be the length of the joints, and thread them down on the joint, and then when you go to bend it, you've automatically got the bones in there. All you're doing is filling in the sides. That's another nice technique for good corpse hands too.